A young man reached out to me and said, Marquette, I get such good business advice from you and Kevin Samuels. I'd love to see you two do a collaboration video. Turns out he's not even a businessman. How in the hell you giving people business advice and you haven't started one business? So now I gotta roast him. Why is that? Because I'm a hater? No, on the contrary. I gotta roast him because if young men are coming to you with their dreams and they're asking you how to become an entrepreneur and you're feeding them lies, oh, to me, that's a problem. And by the way, just a quick side note. For all of you nerds on the internet who are watching this right now, like, oh man, he hating, that nigga hating right now. You guys call yourselves alpha males, but as soon as you see the big dog have to slap a few pups, then you get sensitive. Oh, you a beta male, you a simp. Look here, youngin', let's just call me the apex predator. And you know what my favorite thing to hunt is? My favorite thing to hunt are fake alpha males, like Kevin Samuels. People who are poisoning the youth and misguiding them. First and foremost, if you're a businessman, you should have started some businesses. We should be able to read about your companies in the media. So check it out. Put in, quote, Kevin Samuels, end quote, and then use Google to search for news. There literally are only 2 news articles on this man from media. He is a fraud. No businessman can do business and only have 2 news articles on them. That's ridiculous. This year has been mostly ruined by COVID-19 and I got 2 business articles on me. Why? Because I'm actually a businessman. This man is out there impersonating other people's identity. He is an image consultant, which makes perfect sense because he's all image, smoke and mirrors, all appearance, no substance. Now, why is that important? Because in the age of the internet, people can pretend to be all kinds of things while being nothing. And that's fine. I would let him go on with his lies, except for the fact that there are young men who are in ghettos. There are young men who are in poverty who want to be something great. And they're looking at this fraud, thinking that he can show them the way and show them the light when really he is misguiding them because he is misguided. And he who is misguided can only misguide. This dude is such a fraud that when you Google his name and you click the news filter, it's from Oklahoma. No disrespect to anybody, but who in the fuck cares about Oklahoma? Anybody could get in the news on Oklahoma. Why? Because it's Oklahoma. Is he in the news for being a business owner, being a CEO? No. He's in the news for being a fashion consultant, for being a personal shopper. You know, a grown-ass man would never be a personal shopper. My OG Jewish guy named Rick, his wife, who's a 25-year-old Colombian chick, she's a personal shopper. Why? Because that's something that rich guys let their wives do so they can pretend they have a job. Being a personal shopper is not a goddamn job. And further, how is he a life coach or a lifestyle coach if he's teaching you that what you're wearing matters so much? It doesn't. That's how you know he's a phony. He's concerned with the image, the exterior, not the reality, because his reality is filled with falsehood. How do we know? Take a look at his LinkedIn profile. Here's the kicker. He hasn't even had a proper job. Look on his LinkedIn. 2 of the companies don't even have profile photos because they're fake companies. Furthermore, trip on this. At the companies he did work at, Yellow Pages, and if you're old enough, you know the Yellow Pages used to be a big, thick-ass book, a directory where people would look up phone numbers and look up information for businesses before the internet came out, right? It's an old company. I'm shocked it's still alive. You could tell he's an old nigga. And when he worked for the company, he didn't even have a high-ranking position. He didn't even do much in sales. So where does he get off giving business advice to young people? Hurts my heart. So if someone comes to me and they want to talk business, I can give them advice because I've actually run multiple companies in many industries. So that's my identity. Now, if someone came to me and asked me about something I don't know about, I would refer them to an expert in that industry or that field. So for example, if you came to me right now and you said, Marquette, I want to figure out how to be a fake motherfucker and lie to young men and make up shit and pretend to be things I'm not. I say, oh, you got to go to Kevin Samuels. He is an expert in that area, ladies and gentlemen. Well, how are you a fashion expert when you shop off the rack? Off the rack. My nigga in Macy's like getting stuff off the rack, but you're a fashion expert. If you're a fashion expert, you might have did what I did, which is to fly to Dubai and meet with your clothier and walk into a fabric store and pick out a fabric such as this one and have a suit made from scratch such as this one. That's when you really know fashion. Further, I have a bunch of different fashion products I've created. Women's wrap skirts, men's boxing shoes, men's velvet slippers, men's travel vests, men's shirts, all sorts of things. I'm a fashion expert because I've created products and services in the fashion industry. Kevin Samuels, he's like 70 years old and he's created all of 0 businesses in the fashion industry, yet he's a fashion expert. That's mind-boggling. How does that work out? You're gonna let someone on the internet say there's something and you're gonna believe them just because they said it? I encourage you, do your research. But in this case, you don't have to because I've already done it for you. Let me tell you some more of Kevin Samuels' lies. Go to his website. Now, if you're a businessman, you should sell all kinds of products and services. I know I do. I clicked his website and then we clicked products, right? If you're a businessman, you have products. Under products, there were no fucking products. What in the hell is this? I'm like, where are the products at? You a business guy. You got a whole TV show on YouTube where you're giving business advice. This man is a fraud. Never trust anyone on YouTube whose primary job is as a YouTuber. Think about it. We went to his website, his words, and he wrote that he's a keynote speaker. So we went ahead and just went back to Google, which is a great reference point. Not everything's on Google, but a whole lot of things are on Google. We typed in Kevin Samuels' name, and then we went to images. All his goddamn photos are like fraudulent, staged photos of him posing where? In random stores. He's posing in random clothing stores, which you could do that, I could do that. He doesn't own the store. Did I see a single photo of him giving a speech? Not one. Did I see a single photo of him orating or of him accepting an award for all of these amazing things he's supposedly done? Not one single photo of him giving a speech. Not one single photo of him getting an award. Why? Because he's a sham, a scam artist, a charlatan. Huh? Why does this matter to me? I believe in young people, and I believe if they can get a good education, they can earn for themselves. So they don't have to ask the government for a stimulus check. They can earn for self. But they can't do that when they're being lied to by a charlatan like Kevin Samuels. You can never learn how to do something from someone who's never done it. He created a show called Lion's Den, which he ripped off the title from another show called Lion's Den that's about entrepreneurs pitching their ideas. But Kevin Samuels never has given a pitch of his business. How are you a business person if you've never pitched a business? If you had, I'd be able to see it online. I want to wrap this up by pointing out the following. How are you going to be a lifestyle coach when your entire lifestyle is pretending to have a life that you don't have? Think about this. Kevin Samuels is always in business suits trying to look corporate, but he's never been corporate. Look at his LinkedIn. He says that he's a keynote speaker. I have never said I'm a keynote speaker, but you'll see that I'm endorsed for public speaking 49 times. So when this guy says he's an investor, he's not an investor. When he says he's a businessman, there's no evidence of that. When he tries to dress up in these suits and these neckties and look all corporate, it's all phony because he's not corporate. He's never held a major corporate job. He's never founded a company. He's never even created a fashion product but purports to be a fashion expert. If I'm lying, please correct me. Now, on the other hand, if you want to get good advice from someone who's actually done business, my recommendation is, I'm not saying you come to me, I'm saying you go to someone. Because your path will be so much easier if you can find an expert who's actually had the experience and they can give you reality-based advice to make your path easier. I mean, after all, Kevin Samuels literally has videos about what kind of food you can eat to make your dick bigger. I mean, I wouldn't even think of researching that. I mean, it'd probably be a crime if I did eat food to make my dick bigger. I mean, I have to go to jail, you dig? Somebody call up Guinness World Records. Anyways.